Hello dear students, welcome to mathematics class. In this class, let us discuss the example that show that f of x equal to x is integrable on the closed interval ab and integration over a to b f of x dx equal to 1 by 2 b square minus a square. So here we need to find the common value of the Riemann integral and also we need to show that the function is R integrable. So to prove this one, let P is equal to A plus h by n, A plus 2 times h by n and so on, A plus r minus 1 h by n, A plus r into h by n and so on up to A plus n into h by n, where h equal to the length of the interval b minus a. So already we know how to divide the given interval ab into n equal parts. The first point must be as it is, that is a, then a plus b minus a by n, that is h, then 2 times b minus a by n, so on r minus 1 times b minus a by n, then r times b minus a by n, here a plus n times b minus a divided by n. So this total becomes the upper limit of the given interval, that is equal to b. So therefore here this is our partition. Now for any subinterval IR which is equal to r minus 1 h by n plus a and r h by n plus a, or a plus r h by n, or a plus r minus h by n. So therefore it is the rth subinterval where r takes the values from 1 to n. Then let us find the supremum and infimum of this interval IR. So here capital MR is the supremum. To find the supremum we need to substitute the upper limit of the rth subinterval into the given function. Here the given function f of x equal to x. So therefore that capital MR becomes a plus r into h divided by n, and small mr, that is the infimum. To find the infimum we need to substitute the lower limit of the rth subinterval into the given function. So therefore this becomes a plus r minus 1 into h divided by n, and delta r, that is the length of rth subinterval, delta r is equal to upper limit, that is a plus rh by n minus a plus r minus 1 h by n. Then we get this one as h divided by n. On simplifying we get the delta r is equal to h by n. So therefore we got supremum, infimum and length of rth subinterval. By the help of these three we can find UPF and LPF. So first UPF is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n capital MR into delta r. So this one is summation over r is equal to 1 to n. Capital MR is a plus r into h by n into h by n, because the delta r is equal to h by n. So therefore UPF is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n. So here multiply this h by n to this terms a and rh by n, that becomes a into h by n plus r into h square divided by n square. So therefore it is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n. Now here we have two terms, then we can write the summation separately. So therefore this becomes ah divided by n plus summation over r is equal to 1 to n r into h square divided by n square. Now here we can take the constant terms out of the summation. Here ah by n is constant, remaining summation over r is equal to 1 to n 1 plus here h square by n square is constant, remaining r equal to 1 to n, r. Now this is equal to ah by n into, here if this summation represents that we are adding this one n times, so therefore we get n plus h square divided by n square. Here summation over r equal to 1 to n, r is there, then it is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n, that is nothing but the sum of first n natural numbers, and it is given by the formula n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So here n and n get cancelled, here also n and n get cancelled, remaining ah plus h square by 2 into n, in the numerator it is n plus 1. And again we can write this one as ah plus h square by 2n, and here we can take that n common, then it is n into 1 plus 1 by n, this n and n get cancelled, so therefore it is ah plus h square by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n. So therefore this is the UPF for the given function, that is equal to ah plus h square by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n. Then let us find the LPF for the same function. LPF is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n small mr into delta r. So here it is equal to, the small mr is, here summation over r is equal to 1 to n, small mr is a plus r minus 1 times h divided by n into h by n, because that is the length of rth sub interval h by n. Now multiply this h by n to these two terms, that is summation over r is equal to 1 to n, it is ah divided by n plus summation over r is equal to 1 to n, here we are writing the summation separately, it is h square divided by n square into r minus 1. So it is equal to ah divided by n into summation over r is equal to 1 to n 1. Here we are writing the constant terms out of the summation, that is ah by n into remaining 1, and here h square divided by n square is constant, remaining summation over r is equal to 1 to n r minus 1. So here ah divided by n, its value is equal to n plus h square divided by n square, summation over r is equal to 1 to n, and this one r minus 1 as it is. So here n and n get cancelled, remaining ah plus h square divided by n square. Here we have summation over r is equal to 1 to n r minus 1. Now if you substitute r equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n, we get 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n minus 1. That is nothing but the sum of first n minus 1 natural numbers, and its sum is given by n into n minus 1 divided by 2, and here n and n get cancelled, it is ah plus h square divided by 2n, this is n minus 1. Now it is equal to a into h plus h square divided by 2n, here we can take that n common, that is n into 1 minus 1 by n. Again n and n get cancelled, remaining ah plus h square by 2 1 minus 1 by n. So therefore this is the LPF. Now we got LPF as well as UPF. Then by using these two we can find the lower Riemann integral and upper Riemann integral. So let us find the lower Riemann integral, that is equal to integration over bar a to b f of x dx. So here by the definition of lower Riemann integral we can find the, we can write this one as supremum of LPF. So this is the supremum of all lower sums, where P is the partition of the closed interval AB. This is equal to limit as n tends to infinity and LPF is AH plus h square by 2 1 minus 1 by n. Now here the first term is independent of n, then we cannot apply the limit for the first function. So therefore that one as it is. And here h square by 2 is constant, h square by 2, then limit as n tends to infinity 1 minus 1 by n. So here this 1 by n becomes 0 after applying the limit, because n is tending to infinity. Then if you put n as infinity, that 1 by infinity becomes 0. So therefore this is AH plus h square by 2. Now this is equal to, here we can take that h common, remaining a plus h by 2. Then it is equal to h, and by taking the LCM this becomes 2a plus h whole divided by 2, then it is h by 2. Now we know that h equal to b minus a, that is the length of the given interval. So therefore this one is b minus a divided by 2, then 2a plus b minus a, because h equal to b minus a. Then it is b minus a by 2. Now 2a minus a, that is a plus b. So therefore we can write this one as b plus a into b minus a divided by 2, which is equal to b square minus a square divided by 2, or 1 by 2 times b square minus a square. So here we are taking that h common in these two terms. So therefore h outside, remaining a plus h by 2. Then we are taking the LCM, 2 is the LCM. So therefore it becomes 2a plus h, here outside h by 2 is there. Now we need to put the value for h, where h equal to b minus a. So therefore this becomes b minus a by 2, 2a as it is, then h equal to b minus a. Now 2a minus a becomes plus a, and b as it is. So therefore it is a plus b, and here it is b minus a. And we are rewriting the same expression as b plus a into b minus a by using the identity that a square minus b square, that is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So therefore we can write this as b square minus a square divided by 2, that is equal to 1 by 2 b square minus a square. So therefore this is the lower Riemann integral. Then we need to find the upper Riemann integral, that is integration over a to b bar f of x dx. So therefore upper Riemann integral can be defined as infimum of UPF, where p is the partition of the closed interval AB. Now here also applying the limit as n tends to infinity. Here UPF is AH plus h square by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n. So therefore AH plus h square by 2 into 1 plus 1 by n is the UPF. Now the first term is independent of n, right as it is, that is the constant AH, plus h square by 2 is also a constant, then we cannot apply limit for this term, into limit as n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 by n. So here that 1 by n becomes 0 after applying the limit. So therefore here AH plus h square by 2. Again, as in the previous case, that we have taken that h common, then remaining h into a plus h by 2. Then by taking the LCM, it becomes h into 2a plus h whole divided by 2. Now already we know the value for h, that h equal to length of the given interval, that is AB, then h equal to b minus a. So therefore this one is b minus a by 2, and this is 2a plus b minus a. So therefore it is b minus a by 2 into here 2a minus I, that becomes a. So therefore a plus b then it is 1 by 2 into b minus a into b plus a. That a plus b can be written as b plus a. Now this b minus a into b plus a, that is b square minus a square. So therefore 1 by 2 b square minus a square. Then it implies that integration over a to b bar f of x dx, that is the upper Riemann integral, is equal to bar a to b f of x dx, that is the lower Riemann integral. Here by comparing those two, we can say that those two are one and the same. So that is equal to what? 1 by 2 b square minus a square. So here by the definition of R integrable function, if lower Riemann integral and upper Riemann integral are one and the same, then we can say that the given function is R integrable. So therefore our conclusion is f belongs to R of the closed interval AB, and the common value of them, that is integration over a to b f of x dx, is equal to 1 by 2 b square minus a square. So therefore here the given function f of x equal to x is R integrable over the interval AB, and its common value of the Riemann integral is 1 by 2 times b square minus a square. The next example is, if f is defined on the closed interval AB by f of x equal to k, means the given function is constant function, that is equal to k, means whatever the value of x has been input, but the output is k only, that is nothing but the constant value. For all x belongs to the closed interval AB where k is constant, then f is R integrable over the interval AB, and its common value is, that is integration over a to b f of x dx is equal to k into b minus a. Or the same question can be asked as, show that a constant function is R integrable. So let us prove this one. Let p is equal to a, that is the first point of the given interval, then x1, because a is always equal to x0, x1, x2, so on up to xr minus 1, xr, and up to xn is equal to b. So this is the partition, be any partition of the closed interval AB. So for the closed interval AB, this is the partition considered, that a is equal to x0, that is the first point of the partition, x1, x2, so on up to xn, which is the last point of the partition. Now for any sub interval IR, which is equal to xr minus 1 to xr. So here R takes the values from 1 to n. Now it is the Rth sub interval. To show that the function is R integrable, we need UPF, LPF, and upper Riemann integrable and upper Riemann integral and lower Riemann integral. So therefore, to find all those things, we need supremum and infimum of the function in this Rth sub interval. So we know that to find the supremum, we need to substitute the upper limit of the Rth sub interval into the given function. Here the given function is f of x equal to k, means whatever may be the value of x, but the value of the function is equal to k. So therefore after substituting x equal to xr, we are getting that as k, means supremum is equal to k, and similarly infimum is also k only. Since the function is constant function, we are getting the output of those function as k and k. So therefore supremum and infimum will be one and the same. Now UPF is equal to summation over R is equal to 1 to n capital MR into delta R. So here summation over R is equal to 1 to n MR, that is k, and delta r is given by xr minus 1. So that is the length of the rth subinterval, upper limit minus lower limit of this interval, which is equal to k is constant, we can take it out of the summation, then remaining summation over r is equal to 1 to n xr minus 1. So here we already know one result, that the sum of all the length of each sub interval is equal to b minus a, means the length of the given interval, that we have proved already. So therefore that is k into b minus a, its value summation over r is equal to 1 to n xr minus 1, it is equal to b minus a, which is nothing but a constant, because the length of this interval is constant and also k is constant, then product of them is one constant. Then LPF is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n small mr into delta r, which is equal to summation over r is equal to 1 to n k into again delta r is xr minus 1, and its value is also k into summation over r is equal to 1 to n xr minus 1. So therefore its value is nothing but b minus a. So therefore it is also a constant. Then UPF and LPF both are constants. Then their infimum and supremum, they will be the same constant. They are nothing but upper Riemann integral and lower Riemann integral. So let us find the lower Riemann integral bar a to b f of x dx, that is equal to supremum of LPF, such that p belongs to the partition of the closed interval AB. Now it is limit as n tends to infinity k times b minus c, because that is the LPF, and this LPF is constant, means it is independent of n, then it is nothing but k into b minus a only. And upper Riemann integral, that is integration over a to b bar f of x dx is infimum of UPF, where p belongs to the partition of the closed interval AB. Now it is also limit as n tends to infinity. This one is k into b minus c, because that is the UPF, k into b minus c. So therefore it is also a constant, hence its value is k into b minus a. So therefore upper Riemann integral and lower Riemann integral are one and the same. So therefore it implies that integration over a to b bar f of x dx is equal to integration over a bar a to b f of x dx is equal to k into b minus a, means they are same. If the value of these two integrals are same, then we can say that f belongs to r of the closed interval AB, means that function is r integrable, and its common value, that is integration over a to b f of x dx is equal to k into b minus a. So therefore it is our proof, means every constant function is r integrable, means its lower and upper integrals will be same, and here it is given by k into b minus a.